From Presque Isle Downs Casino in Erie, Pennsylvania, home of the BetAmerica Sportsbook, it's a special edition of More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. Hello, everybody. Hope your weekend is off to a good start. Welcome to Presque Isle Downs Casino here in Erie, Pennsylvania. Both the Chiefs and the 49ers are getting ready for the Super Bowl Sunday. And both teams, the 49ers and the Chiefs, have guys with Browns and Cleveland ties. When you look over at the Kansas City Chiefs, they have two players who grew up in Northeast Ohio, actually in Cleveland. Travis Kelce, tight end, played his football and basketball at Cleveland Heights High School. And Frank Clark played at Glenville High School. Clark was acquired in a trade by the Chiefs from the Seattle Seahawks. And Frank Clark feels he's one of the best, if not the best pass rusher in the NFL.
How is it? You said last night you thought you were the best defensively in the league. Why do you feel that way?
Because of everything I can do. I mean, myself healthy. I mean, I don't know if y'all watch TV, but y'all watch me healthy against any other defensive end. I mean, you can do all the talking, you can do all the praising you want about these guys who've been on the top of the league for the last couple of years. But if you watch football, if you watch and you understand football, and you know Frank Clark, and you watch enough football, you'll understand who the best in the league is at doing this.
Frank, you mentioned that you didn't watch the game last year when you lined up offside. Where did you first hear about that play? When you got into Kansas City, people started talking about it? I mean,
no, just in the football world. You know what I mean? You hear about why the Chiefs didn't make the Super Bowl, why this didn't happen, and they talk about certain things. But at the end of the day, you know, it's a host of things. You know, the game wasn't won for the Chiefs last year, and that was the the AFC Championship. We won the AFC Championship this year with this team. I feel like that's what matters the most. We had the Super Bowl this year, 2020, with this team, and I feel like that's what matters the most.
How is it different to prepare for a team that does so much misdirection and so many stretch plays?
You got to focus, man. Don't let the eye candy fool you. The eye candy will fool you sometimes, man. You got to keep the eye candy, your vision at a minimum when you're preparing for a team like this. It's teams like this.
It's different than preparing for other teams.
Oh yeah. There's a few teams in the league who operate like that. They just so happen to be the team that does it, honestly the best. You got guys like Baltimore. You got other teams like Tennessee who we played last week. Then this team, other teams outside the conference like the Rams who use a lot of motions and stuff, who motion over 85% of the time, before snap and stuff like that. But this team motions 90% of the time before snaps. Either moving a tight end or or moving a wide receiver, across formations. But it's all based off, if you know where the motion falls, if you know where it ends, and you know where the fullback, and you know which running back is in the game, you will understand which play is coming.
And you practice against Patrick Mahomes every single day. How is it to practice against this guy? What is it that makes him so special?
Man, it's like watching a goat throw a football. You ever seen a goat throw a football? You ain't never seen a goat throw a football. I have. So at the end of the day, that's what it feels like, man. It's like no, honestly, Pat is a great guy, man. You're a great guy, on and off the field. So you hear about it. You hear about it before you come. I was out in Seattle with a great quarterback in Russell Wilson as well. But you hear about it. You play against them like I did, and and then you see the myth, the man, the legend. And Pat is he's everything you think. He's everything you think. He's real.
When you go against an offense like that in practice every day, as you go back to training camp, does that make your defense a little bit better?
I feel like it helps us a lot. At the end of the day, when you're playing the best offense, I feel like it's the best offense in the league, man. The things they're able to do, the players they have at every position. You look at the backfield, Damian Williams. You look at the receivers, man. They got everything, even down to the tight ends on the offensive line. Everybody's playing as a unit on that offense, and I feel like that's what makes them dangerous because everyone bought in. Everyone is bought in, and I feel like they bought in at the right time, just as the defense. When things were getting rocky for the offense, when Pat went down and things like that started happening, it was like, man, what's going on? Where's the Chiefs or what's happening? But at the end of the day, I just feel like those guys stay fast and they came back stronger than ever, and they just continue to prove why they one of the best in the world at doing what they do.
I wouldn't say any pressure, man. I've been dreaming of this opportunity my entire life, man, and I know how big this moment is and how big the stage is, and being able to
to at least be here and experience that with my family is certainly going to be special. And if I ever get the opportunity to actually win it, you know, I told myself I would take advantage of that. Honestly, as soon as we lost in the AFC Championship last year, we knew we had a core group of guys coming back, and Coach Reed's mentality was, you know what, feel this, recognize this feeling, and let it motivate you. That we don't let this happen again. And sure enough, Miami's been on our mind ever since. I mean, they're unbelievable defense. From the front four. Really, the front five, when you think of D Ford coming off the sideline, they're a force to be reckoned with. On top of that, their backers fly around, and their secondary is very smart, very aware, and good at breaking on balls and making tackles. So I mean, it's going to be a tough game for us to really come out and do what we do best, which is make plays and make guys miss. Well, fortunately enough, neither of us have to guard each other. So, I mean, we just deal with what we can on the offensive side and try and be accountable for our guys on the defensive end, too. Man, I feel like I've been waiting forever, and I've only been there 7 years. I can only imagine what it would mean to the city, to the community in Kansas City who loves their sports so much to be able to bring back a Super Bowl, knowing that they've been waiting quite a while and are well deserving of it. I would say the first game, and unfortunately I wasn't even really playing at that time, but to be able to soak in everything. And really recognize, you know, how tight-knit this community is and how much they love their sports. I mean, the entire offseason going into the first season I was playing here, I went to a few Royals games, and they were pretty hot back in the day. So I really enjoyed watching the crowd interact. And then, sure enough, game day up at Arrowhead is like none other, man. No, but everybody in the city sure as heck told me while all that was going on. I said, man, if you bring it back, imagine this times two. Cleveland Heights, Ohio, baby. That's where I'm from. That's where I get a lot of my personality from my friends and family back home, and you know, I love them for it because it makes me feel like they're with me every step of the way.
Travis Kelce, a proud Clevelander from Cleveland Heights High School. We have to take a quick time out. On the other side of break, we'll go back to the high school days of Travis Kelce at Cleveland Heights and Frank Clark at Glenville. Special edition of More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. We'll be right back here at Presque Isle Downs Casino.
It's the biggest party for the biggest game at Churchill's Bourbon and Brew at Presque Isle Downs Casino. Watch the game on our big screens. Enjoy our $20 all-you-can-eat tailgate buffet and win on giveaways throughout the game. Plus, we've got BetAmerica swag beginning at 10 a.m. when you make a wager on the big game. Make your reservations today at 814-866-8353. Presque Isle Downs Casino. Winning any way you look at it.
As a kid growing up, my dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had two choices. I was accepted into a four-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine. Welcome back to More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition, a special edition from Presque Isle Downs Casino here in Erie, Pennsylvania, a little bit over an hour away from downtown Cleveland. When we talk about Cleveland and we talk about this year's Super Bowl, a guy that comes to mind is Frank Clark. Clark played his high school football at Glenville High School before going on to the University of Michigan. At Glenville, Clark played mostly outside linebacker and defensive end, just like he does in the NFL. He wore number 7 for the Tar Blooders and was a force on the defensive side of the ball. Clark also played a little bit of offense, played tight end, and was used as a blocker for Ted Ginn Sr. Ted Ginn Sr. also used Clark as a kicker. He did kickoffs for the Tar Blooders. Frank played on the same Glenville teams as Cardale Jones and Shane Wynn, who also had brief NFL careers. Travis Kelce, the Chiefs tight end, also grew up on the east side of Cleveland, played high school football at Cleveland Heights. Now, Kelce was not a tight end, wasn't a running back. He was a quarterback for the Tigers, a dual threat kind of guy. He was also a very good forward on the Cleveland Heights Tigers basketball team.
Travis Kelce is living the good life in Cleveland Heights. His Tigers got off to a 4-0 start, but that's not good enough. This big man has dreams of playing like the little guys.
I would like to get more versatile on the wing, be able to dribble more.
We got him on a 2-dribble limit right now.
I can get a little shots outside. I don't really want to focus on that. I mean, the closer you are, the easier it gets.
So while you won't see Travis Kelce running the point too often for the Tigers, what you will see is a big body that can play well both inside and out.
I just play wherever I get the ball. I mean, I can't do it without 4 other guys on the floor. I mean, I get the ball and I try and create for our team, and it's all about getting the W, and I'll do what I need to do for my team to win.
Trav shoots it well. He works at his game, and you know, we got to give him the freedom to do what he does, and we kind of just stay out of his way at times.
Well, the Tigers won't clear out entirely when the 6'5", 230-plus pounder has the rock.
Most people don't know how good of a passer he is. He's very adept at passing to get the guys the ball in the right scoring angle.
Which shouldn't come as any surprise. Kelce was heavily recruited as quarterback by several big-time college football programs.
In college, I'm actually playing both sports, so we'll see how that plans out and see if I can go pro in one of them.
But first things first, Kelce will head south to Cincinnati, where he'll suit up for the Bearcats' Gridiron Gang, as well as help rebuild the Cats' once nationally feared basketball team. For Travis, heading to Cincy wasn't simply a choice based on playing both sports.
My brother's down there. He's backup center and guard right now, Jason Kelce, and when I went down there, he really made me feel comfortable with the new and improved facilities and all that great stuff, and their program is on the rise.
Much like his Cleveland Heights Tiger team.
He's a solid player, he's a solid leader, and I'm glad he's on my team.
Well, Kelce has become one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and he still stays very much connected to his Cleveland Heights Tigers, visits them when he's in town, also reaches out to Cleveland Heights football via social media. Time for us to take a quick time out. When we return on the other side of the break, a couple of 49ers who have ties to the Cleveland Browns. More sports and less Levine. The Weekend Winners Edition will be right back. We're on location at Presque Isle Downs Casino in Erie, Pennsylvania. Stay with us.
Celebrate Naturestone's 30-year anniversary with a free Naturestone floor. During 2020, we will be giving away 30 free floors to 30 very lucky customers to say thank you for making Naturestone the best concrete flooring solution for garages, basements, and more. Call or visit Naturestone.com today to register to win, and we'll send you a copy of our new buyer's guide absolutely free. There's no purchase necessary. Winners will be chosen monthly. With over 30 million square feet installed for more than 60,000 customers, it's easy to see why I always say, it's not just a floor. Wow, it's Naturestone.
Just because I'm not $1 million price doesn't mean I'm worthless. We middle prices get zero respect. We're worth hundreds, even thousands. I mean, I'm a handsome bag of money. And there's $110 million worth of us in the Ohio Lottery Cash Celebration scratch-off alone. Plus, the odds of winning are off the chart. 1 in 3.
Play the $30 cash celebration for a chance to win up to $1 million.
You see?
Oh, and lots of prizes between $100 and $1,000.
Everybody wants $1 million. Would $500 be so bad? Come on.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget. Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Our special edition of More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition, continues from Presque Isle Downs Casino in Erie, Pennsylvania, home of the BetAmerica Sportsbook. We've already told you the ties that local guys have to Cleveland on the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's shift gears. 49ers also have some guys with ties to Cleveland, this time with the Browns. Kyle Shanahan, head coach of the 49ers, was the Browns' offensive coordinator for one season. 2014, when the Browns were 7-4 with Brian Hoyer as their quarterback, before the wheels fell off and they didn't win a game in their final 5 of that year. Raheem Mostert was also in Browns training camp back in 2015 before the Browns cut him. But the Browns weren't alone. Mostert has been cut by 6 NFL teams before he found a home with the San Francisco 49ers.
You started your career bouncing around a lot of teams. And when you look back at these last few years since you left Purdue, what pops into your head now that you're at this moment?
I did have a lot of doubters and naysayers, and now I get to actually tell them, hey, look where I'm at now. I never gave up on my dream. I never gave up on the opportunities when it presented itself, and I always worked hard no matter what. And it's crazy that I've been on 7 different teams. I actually still have, the cut dates, and I look at that every before every game. I look at the cut dates when I got cut. Been on 7 different teams, and the journey has been crazy. Not everybody can deal with that type of stress and pain and agony that I went through. But like I said, I kept the faith in not only myself, but whoever gave me the opportunity, and this organization has done a great job with that.
We talk a lot about your speed, obviously, but can you just describe the vision that you see on the field, where you see these lanes that really help you out? This
scheme that we run, the outside zone and inside zone, it's been working for years. Even back when Mike Shanahan was the head coach in Denver, and even in Washington, it's still, the philosophy is still, transpires into what we run today. And you have to have vision in order to read the holes and read the gaps, and I worked on it. Coming in, I didn't really run the offense like that. Coming out of college, I was running more of the shotgun, runs and sweeps and all that type of stuff, and that's what I was basically known for. Especially with my speed, it's a little bit easier. But having to transition into gap scheme and reading holes one at a time, it took a little bit while to work out, but it pays off once you get to it.
Kyle, what has Raheem Mostert meant to this team, and how impressed are you with his story?
I didn't know all Raheem's story, so I'm extremely impressed by him. It doesn't surprise me. Raheem, since I've gotten here, we noticed him right away, just in terms of before we got on the field and everything, just how good of a guy he was. Got to meet his wife and him at almost every event. Very humble, great people. to watch Raheem battle to make the team each year as a special teams player, how good he was at special teams, and the way he's taken advantage of his opportunities as a running back. I can't say enough good things about Raheem as a person, and as a player, he's been unbelievable.
Over here, Chris Peterman, front row.
Kyle, what do you remember about that workout with Jimmy that you had at Northwestern before the draft?
I remember they didn't have a lot of receivers show up, so I had to do some of the routes, which was frustrating because he threw it too hard. I didn't have gloves, and I remember the next few days my hands were purple, but I feel like I caught most of them. And then, so the workout was great, and then going out to dinner with him later that night, just being able to hang out with him. Very simple, very humble. When you spend a night with someone like that, especially through the draft process, and they come off the way he does, it's, man, well, what's the guy hiding? He seems so relaxed and such a good dude, and now I've been with him for about 3 years, and I'm no different than that first night.
Front row, Nick Wagner.
God, looking back, how surprised were you that D Ford became available, and what are your recollections of how that came together?
I mean, you're always surprised when good players become available. When you guys do get to that contract year or the year before, that it is always an option. I think he was a franchise year. I can't exactly remember. And I think it happened right before the draft or on the day of the draft. We knew we wanted to add another guy. We looked at a number of things in free agency and things like that. It was free agency when it happened. And then we weighed the options against D Ford being available. So to be able to get him and compare him to some of the other free agents, when we saw that, we didn't hesitate. And then it was nice to add another one in the draft.
All right, middle aisle to the left, Josina.
Hey, Kyle, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. One, do you consider yourself an offensive guru? And two, how did what you went through in the Super Bowl against the Patriots impact how you scout yourself, how you scout defenses, and just how you put together your playbook from that point even up through now? I mean, your plays.
No, I don't consider myself an offensive guru. I consider myself a coach who tries as hard as he can, and I definitely don't do it all alone. I mean, our coaches, from Mike McDaniel, Michael Fleur, they put in majority of the game plan with myself. We get a lot of help from all the coaches, and when you have good players around you and you have good coaches, it helps a lot. Everyone asks about what I learned from that Super Bowl and everything, and I wish I could say there was some easy answer that would have fixed us not blowing that lead, but I go back and I'm hard on myself on everything, and I know the plays I wish I called differently, especially a 2nd and 11 pass once we got down there that led to a sack, so I wish I called a run there, but that was about it. You realize how when you're playing against good teams, good quarterbacks, that you can never relax, and no matter what situation I've been in since then, you can ask our players, you can ask our coaches. I freaked out at Saleh when he tried to take the starters out in Green Bay. Or was it Minnesota? Yeah, it was Minnesota. And we were up 3 scores with 2 minutes to go, and I freaked out, and then I did the math, and I thought it was all right. But you get some of that scars from that and stuff, so guys mess with me with that. But besides that, that's about it.
Kyle Shanahan may not consider himself an offensive genius, but to go 7-4 the way he did with the Browns as the offensive coordinator, and then watching his 49ers on offense, he's doing a lot of things right as far as offensive play calling goes. Time for us to take a quick timeout. On the other side of the break, we'll take a look at some of the important numbers for the Super Bowl between the 49ers and Chiefs. Yeah, we're talking numbers here at Presque Isle Downs Casino. More sports and less Levine, the weekend winners edition. We'll be right back.
As a kid growing up, my dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had 2 choices. I was accepted into a 4-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. you're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Smiley One Heating and Cooling. Find them at SmileyOne.com.
Welcome back to Presque Isle Downs Casino in Erie, Pennsylvania. A special edition of More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. I'm Dave Bacon in Erie, Pennsylvania. The Chiefs and the 49ers are getting ready to face each other in the Super Bowl, the final game of the NFL season. Kickoff 6:30 on Fox. Let's take a look at some of the particulars. Kansas City currently a 1-point favorite, over under 54.5. Expect to be a high-scoring game, of course. Jimmy Garoppolo threw only 8 passes in the NFC Championship game, was 6 of 8 for 77 yards. People are giving him grief about it, but they didn't need to throw the football. They were running all over the place. Chiefs are 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 games. They have been that good. Patrick Mahomes has led the Chiefs offense to 30 or more points in all 4 of the playoff games that he has appeared in. And take a look at Mahomes, 11-0 touchdown to interception ratio in 4 career postseason games. That is definitely getting it done. Raheem Mostert, 220 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game. That's why Jimmy Garoppolo only threw the ball 8 times. Mostert was running all over the place. Local ties, we have already heard from them earlier in the show. Frank Clark, 4 sacks. Travis Kelce, 13 receptions, 3 touchdowns to lead Kansas City this postseason. Well, we're going to step aside and take a quick timeout. When we return, we'll hear from Dan Kuick. He's in charge of the BetAmerica Sportsbook here at Presque Isle Downs Casino. We'll find out what's going on Super Bowl Sunday here and what exactly you can bet on when the Super Bowl is going on. More sports and less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. We'll be right back.
Get Nature's Stone and never replace your basement flooring again. Your concrete is uneven, damp, and not healthy. Carpet and tile don't last, breed mold and mildew, and give worthless warranties. Nature's Stone permanently corrects uneven concrete and is not affected by dampness or moisture. And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, there are no hidden maintenance costs. Act now and save up to 50% with our volume discount pricing. Must be installed by the end of January. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature's Stone.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
It's the biggest party for the biggest game at Churchill's Bourbon and Brew at Presque Isle Downs Casino. Watch the game on our big screens. Enjoy our $20 all-you-can-eat tailgate buffet and win on giveaways throughout the game. Plus, we've got BetAmerica swag beginning at 10 a.m. when you make a wager on the big game. Make your reservations today at 814-866-8353. Presque Isle Downs Casino. Winning any way you look at it.
Welcome back to More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition, a special edition here from Presque Isle Downs Casino in Erie, Pennsylvania, home of the BetAmerica Sportsbook, and we are pleased to be joined by Dan Kuick, who is in charge of the BetAmerica Sportsbook here at Presque Isle. Dan, what is going on Sunday with the game with the 49ers and the Chiefs?
Well, as you know, it's going to be a big game. These teams are close. It's going to be down to the wire, I think. It should be an exciting game for us. So if you want to come up and hang out with us, spend the day with us, we've got a hot seat on the floor for slot players. That runs from 4:30 to 6:30. If you're a table games player, we have a hot seat there. It runs from 2 to 4. Once the game starts, we have a party upstairs. Come on up. It's $20 to get in. That includes a buffet and a 16-ounce draft. On the floor, we're running specials, a 16-ounce pounder cans for $4. So you can come up. We have plenty of TVs, plenty of places to watch the game. So come on up. Check it out.
There's also plenty of ways that you can wager on the game as well, aside from the point spread, which is fluctuating. It's going between 1.5 and 1, Chiefs being favored, and based on the time, it seems like it's going back between those two numbers. But there are other ways to wager as well.
Absolutely. There's player props if you want to get into that. Over-unders on, like, how many interceptions is Mahomes going to throw? How many yards is Garoppolo going to pass for? How many yards? It's all over-under stuff. We also have the MVP bet. If you want to get into that, I can show you guys now if you'd like to. So, you jump into sports like we've shown in the past. It's a futures bet. So we'll go to futures, NFL. There you go. There's your MVP players. And right now you have Patrick Mahomes as a favorite at plus 100. I don't think that surprises anybody, but it goes from there.
So that's basically even money. You bet 100 to get 100. So
That's it.
What about as the game goes on? Are there ways to wager that will be, bet on what's going on as far as the momentum of the game?
Absolutely. So that's live betting. It's easy. Same here. Sports, instead of sports, you hit live. Once the game's on, you're going to have that selection here. Obviously not on now, but what happens is if someone gets hurt, obviously that's going to change the line big time. So you can bet that now. Someone jumps out to an early lead, that's going to change your lines. You could jump out there. You're going to be able to bet on the quarters as well. First, second, third quarter, who's going to win, over-unders there. It's going to be a whole suite of bets you're going to be able to place.
And again, party going on. There's a buffet, specials. It's actually a great event as well.
Absolutely. Last year, we packed the house. We do drawings as well. We give away free play upstairs. It's a fun time. Like if a safety happens, we'll draw something and it's worth this much. Interception, we'll draw something that's worth this much. It's a good time. We keep you engaged and keep you interested in the game.
And again, you will not know exactly what people can bet on in-game until the game gets started. That's why it's called live betting.
Sure. Once you get down here and start playing around, I'm sure if you come up, you're going to see this place full. And we're going to have guys that's pulled up stools, and they're going to be sitting on that live betting tab, watching the game, placing bets as it goes on.
And again, 50 state-of-the-art kiosks located throughout the casino. There's some upstairs. You'll probably pull more of them upstairs because of the party going on.
Well, actually, we're going to keep them down here. If we put them upstairs, it turns that into a 21 and over.
Right.
So if people want to bring their kids up and watch, we want to give them that ability. So we decided to keep them downstairs this year. But if you're in a hurry, you want to run in, I've got them right on each entrance. You can run in, place a quick bet. If you want to come in and hang out, we're here. Come hang out.
Dan Kuick, as always, appreciate the time.
Pleasure.
Dan runs the BetAmerica Sportsbook here at Presque Isle Downs Casino. Remember, a big buffet party. You can wager live as the game's going on. It's BetAmerica Sportsbook, state-of-the-art kiosks here at Presque Isle Downs Casino. A little bit over an hour away from downtown Cleveland. We're going to step aside, take a quick time out. We will wrap it up here from Presque Isle Downs Casino with some of the prop bets for the Super Bowl. That's straight ahead on More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. Stay with us.
Get Nature Stone and never replace your garage flooring again. Your concrete is cracked, uneven, and not safe. Paints and poly coatings don't last, are slippery, and give worthless warranties. Nature Stone permanently corrects cracked, uneven concrete, eliminates slipping hazards, and is easy to clean. And with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty, there are no hidden maintenance costs. Act now and save up to 50% with our volume discount pricing. Must be installed by the end of January. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's Kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget, Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine. That'll about do it for this edition of More Sports and Less Levine, Presque Isle Downs Casino in Erie, Pennsylvania. Every week I tell you about the 50 state-of-the-art BetAmerica sports betting kiosks here, and this is one of them. So money goes in down here, and then it is touchscreen betting. And let's go and take a look at some of the things going on with the Super Bowl coming up. So we're going to go to futures. And we're going to go to the NFL prop bets for the championship. This is the MVP betting that you can do. I happen to like the tight ends in this because both Travis Kelce, who we heard from earlier, George Kittle are big parts of the offense of the 49ers for Kittle, and also Kelce for the Chiefs. And you see they are both plus 1,500 plus 1,600 for Kelce. That means if you bet $100, you get $1,500 if you bet it on George Kittle. If you bet $100 on Travis Kelce, you get $1,600. I think one of those guys could very well end up being the MVP in this Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, even money. Jimmy Garoppolo, 2-1 is a plus 200. But again, this is one of those 50 state-of-the-art kiosks, touchscreen betting here at Presque Isle Downs Casino. Little over an hour from downtown Cleveland. That'll do it for this edition of More Sports and Less Levine, the Weekend Winners Edition. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again next Friday here on cleveland.com.